Hello all, welcome to my channel Adderate Test with Akshay. In this tutorial, we will see how to perform the different mouse action. In this video, we will see how to automate the different mouse action. So guys, we know that with the help of mouse, we can perform the various actions. So with the help of mouse, we can hover any element, we can double click or we can click the element or we can double click the elements or we can right click on any other element or we can just drag and drop the things somewhere. Okay, I'll show you all the options that how to automate this, all the options that mean how to perform the mouse over action, how to perform the double click action, context click, how to perform the right click action. This context click means right click, how to perform the drag and drop, and how to handle the sliders. Okay, so let's get started. I'll just open my Eclipse. We have the Eclipse here. So it is starting. And here we go. It's taking time little. We have to just wait. Okay. So in this project, I will create a class. Let's. We have the pack one. I already having some classes here. I just right click and I'll go for a class here and I'll add a name as mouse actions, or I can name it as automating mouse actions. Okay, I'll create a main method. I'll finish. So we have a class now. So okay, you guys can see we have the main method here. So I'll just write the code here to launch the browser and to navigate to the website. So I'll show you first the website, which websites we are going to use. So important sites, we have this website here, and I'll just open this browser and I'll show you. So guys, this is the websites we are going to use for this tutorial. So you can see guys, there are the different like menus are there, different tabs are there. I would say these are the like horizontal menus. So sometimes before performing the action, we just move our mouse on that option. Like say, let's say I have to enter the text on the search field. So I can just hover the mouse here, or if there is button is there. Okay, I have to hover this mouse. If I am moving my mouse here, so actually I am hovering the mouse here. So this is called as a mouse hover or mouse over action. So guys, when I hover the mouse on this desktop, okay, you guys can see it's showing different three options. So if I'm moving here, it is showing me three options. If I'm moving here, if I am hovering the mouse here, it is showing me three options. So we will automate the scenario. I will just hover on this desktop, then I will hover on this Mac, and then I will perform the click action on this Mac. Okay. So we know that how to click using the Selenium. So how to perform the over action. So for that, I'll write the script here. So first I'll write the code to actually launch the browser. So these are the two lines. I'll just copy here and I'll paste them here. So these two lines will launch the these two lines will launch our Chrome browser and will navigate to the website. So we have to change our website. I want this browser or this Chrome to launch this website. So I'll just copy this website and I'll paste it here. So I'm just pasting it here. Okay, and save. So this line will perform the action. It will it will launch our browser, Chrome browser, and it will navigate to these websites. So what is the next action, guys? After navigating to the websites, we have to over our mouse to that option. We have to move over our mouse to the desktop. So for that, we have to find the element. So how to perform the mouse over actions, guys? So we know that for mouse over actions or mouse actions, what are the actions we can perform using the mouse? We have to use the action class. So I'll create the action class here, action class object. Action act is equals to new action. Actually, it is actions. Okay, actions act is equals to new actions. Keep in mind it is actions, and we have to pass this driver to this action here. So I'm just passing it here. I'm hovering the mouse here, and I'm hovering the mouse and I'm importing the things, importing from Selenium interactions. You can check here import actions. We have to import this class from org OpenQA Selenium interaction. I'm just importing the things here. After that, to perform the mouse over, we have the action, guys, act dot move to element. Okay, we have this action move to element. Okay, this is a move to element action which we have to use. So you can see this move to element is taking the parameter as a web element. So I am just writing it here. So we have to pass the web element here. Okay, so performing to move to, so when where exactly we want to move, guys, we want to move, or where exactly we want to over, I just want to over my mouse to this desktop. So I'll just locate this element first. I'll just right click and inspect, and here we go. I'll inspect this. So I'll write the XPath here. So tag name is a, so I have to use slash slash a, that is a tag name, and attribute is the class. Here is the attribute, or like text is also there. I'll go with the selector hub. I'll go with the selector hub and just clicking here and relative XPath. So this is our relative XPath. Okay, this is our relative XPath, normalized space, cancel normalized space. So this is the relative XPath, guys. I can create my own XPath also. You can see here the desktop is there. So I'll write the control F. We are getting this finder slash slash a is a tag name in the square braces. After the tag name, we have to use the square braces, and in the square braces at the rate attribute. So what is the attribute? So we guys know that the attribute is I'll go here and I'll check there is a class attribute and some other attributes is there, data hyphen bs hyphen toggle, and desktop is also there. So I can use the text method. I'll go with the text method, and text method, after that I have to write here equals to, and what is the text method, what is the text there. So I'll just inspect it and I'll just copy that text from here. So text path, like desktop is a text, so I'm just pasting it here. Okay, okay. So you guys can see one out of one element located. So it is properly highlighting to the desktop, means it is the right text path. Okay. So I'm just taking this taking this XPath. So I have to like write locate the element. So I will write here driver dot find element by dot XPath. In the XPath, I'll paste my XPath here. So I'll store this element. Let's say it is a desktop button, or it's a desktop. I'll say it's a desktop button. It's not a button, but let's say it's an element first. We can store into any variable. I'll say element first desktop. Okay, element first hyphen desktop. So I'll over the mouse here and I'll create a local variable. So it will store that into the web element because it's a web element. Okay. So I have to over my mouse on the desktop. So I will use the action as I already told you. We have to use act dot. What is the action? Move to element. So this is the action move to element, and in this action we have to pass these elements where exactly we want to over our mouse. So element one desktop is the element where I want to over my mouse. After that, we can write here build dot perform. Okay, so this will perform the overing action. Okay, means this will perform, our mouse will over into the desktop. Okay, means this will perform this action. Our mouse will go here, it will over my mouse on the desktop. So next thing is we are having this option here. So I want to over my mouse on this Mac, and after that I want to click on the Mac. So to perform the over action on the Mac, I have to just inspect it. So I'm going to inspect this Mac, and okay, let's say just over first, and right here inspecting the here, and Mac. Okay, just a minute. It's not a. It's, okay, I'll just copy it again. It is showing some error with the website. I think it is not allowing us to inspect the things. So I will click here. I will over. Okay, I'll over here and I will inspect this, or I will go with the inspect, and Okay, this is the Mac. This got highlighted, guys. At the anchor tag. This is the anchor tag. This is the href attribute. This anchor tag is closing here. I mean, this is a like starting anchor tag here, and this is a closing anchor tag. And in between the starting anchor tag and closing anchor tag, there is a text that is Mac1. So we can use the text method to write the XPath. Simply we'll write here. I will just copy this and Control F, and we can write here // a is the anchor tag. In the square braces, we have to write @ attribute. What is the attribute, guys? So actually, we are not using the attribute. We are using the text method. So I'll write the text here equals to, and we have to write this Mac here. Okay. So I'll just enter. It is not showing any element because I have to keep this value into the single quote. So I'm just keeping this value into single quote. You can see this is got here highlighted. So this is a proper XPath which is locating to this Mac. So I'll go and I'll write the action here or on that element. So what is the element, guys? I will store that element here. I'll write the element here. Driver dot find element by dot XPath. XPath. I'm just pasting that XPath here, and after that I'm just pasting the XPath. And I'm storing this into the web element. So let's say element second. What is this? Mac. So we have to over on this Mac. I'll just over the mouse here and I'll create the local variable. It is getting stored into the web element. Okay. So this is the web element. So what is the scenario, guys? I want to over first on this desktop. I want to over first on this desktop, and then I want to over on this Mac, and then I want to click on this Mac. So this is our scenario. Okay. So first thing I over on this desktop. Later on I have to write the script to over on this Mac. I'll write here act dot move to element. Okay, move to element. So what is the element this time? This time is a Mac dot build dot perform. Okay, so we can use directly perform here, or we can use like this. We can write like this, or we can simply like this also. I mean these actions, whatever the actions I am writing here, build dot perform. I can make it more simple. I will instead of this, I can write directly perform also. That is also okay. In the coming sessions, I will tell you the difference. Okay, we can write like this or you can write this. Both are the correct, guys. These both are the correct. We can write the build dot perform or you can write the perform directly. Okay. So let's say comment this and I'll keep go with this. Okay, this is the action. So I'm just inspecting this desktop. I'm locating this desktop, locating this Mac, storing the that elements into these web elements. Okay, then I'm performing the action. First I'm overing to the desktop, after that I'm overing to the Mac, and after that I'm performing the actual action into that Mac, that is the clicking action. So how to perform it? That is driver dot find element, or we already have the element here, so we can use this element also. Okay, driver dot find element by dot XPath. Let's say this is the XPath here we have to use. This is the XPath, and we can perform the click action here itself because this is the element, that is a Mac element. Or second thing, I can store this element into the web element. I'll write here that is the element Mac element. Okay, and I can perform action here. I'll store it. So local is web element, and I can perform the action on this web element. Okay, click, or directly, guys, we know that we already have this web element stored into this element to Mac. So after overing we can perform the action here also. Okay, I'll write here this action, this web element dot click, so it will perform the click action. So after that, if you want to see, I'll just wait the script here, that is thread.sleep. Thread.sleep is a Java method, guys. It is taking the time in millisecond. So I want to stop it for 2 seconds. Let's say 3 seconds, and it is throwing the exception, that is an interest you can see here, interpreted exception it is throwing. It is a Java wait, it's not a Selenium wait. So I'll just save it and I'll execute the things. So we can see run as Java application. So it will launch the browser, it will navigate to that website, then it will perform the it will over to that element and it will perform the action. Let's say this browser got launched here. So after that it over automatically, and after that it click on the particular Mac option. Okay, so this is a website problem. You guys can see verifying the human. It is the like security problem. Their website it has. Okay, right. In this way, guys, you can just perform the mouse over action. So after mouse over, guys, the second action is like double click. Okay, I told you that is a double click action. So how to perform the double click action? Let's say create a class. I want to create one class here for double click. I'll just write the thing here. I'll just show over. I will create a class here. I'll create a double click class. Double click. Okay, and here's the class. Same like that. I will just write the code to launch the browser and navigate. I'm just writing it here. Okay. And you can just write here. We have to write what we have to do, guys. I want to maximize the window after that. So I can write driver dot manage dot window manage. Okay, let me just write it again. Driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Maximize. Okay, it got maximized. My browser will get maximized this time. So after that, I have to perform the double click. So guys, for the double click, we will use another website. We have this website here. I think yeah, that's the correct website. Let's say we'll check. I'll show you. So this is a website I'm having. So you can see, guys, the button is here. Copy text button. Label is to copy text, but we have to perform the double click action. Double click on button. The text from the field 1 will be copied to field 2. Okay. So this is exactly what this double click will perform. I mean, if we double click on this copy text, double click, it will copy the text from the text field 1 to field 2. Okay. So if we perform the double click, it will copy the text from F1 and will paste to F2 automatically. So we just have to double click on the copy text. I will perform the double click manually. Okay, like this it will work. Okay, so for that, guys, we have to perform the double click action. So let's get started. So first thing, I will just copy this website and store, I mean paste it here, driver.get. So this time my browser will launch this website, whatever the website I am giving here, driver.get. So this time this site will get launched. After launching the site, I know that to perform the mouse actions, I have to create the action class. Actions act equals to new action. Okay, so and I have to pass the driver here because I know to perform the mouse action, to handle the mouse action, driver class is necessary. So I'm just creating the object of the driver class. I'm just creating the object of the action class, because through the action class also, only through the action class we can perform these actions, mouse actions. So I'll just over the mouse here, import the things. Okay. So next thing is I want to double click. So guys, in the act, we have to use this act dot, means in the action class we have the method that is the double click, act dot double click. So double click is a method, guys. So this method we have to use, and you can check, guys, this double click method is taking the, I mean, we have to provide the web element here. I'll show it again. Action dot, let's say action dot double click. So you can see double click, we have to provide the web element target. Web element we have to provide as a parameter. Okay. So we have to provide the web element here. So I'll store the web element. I mean, where exactly we have to double click. So we have this button. We have to perform the double click. I'll right click here. I'll inspect. I'll just inspect this here. It will highlighting this field. So I can use my own XPath. I can create my own XPath. I'll go with the tag name button. Control F button in the square braces. We can use the text method. Okay. And first we have to see the double slash, forward slashes, double slash, and this is the new browser window. Actually, it's not a new browser window. We are looking for this copy text. Let me just inspect it again. This is inspect. So this is the copy text. Okay, this is the actually copy text. I will copy from here, and text is the method which will help me to locate this element. So I'll write here text. So you can see it is highlighting the proper element. I'll just copy it and I'll store it into web element, driver.find element by.xpath, and here I'll paste the xpath. Okay, and I'll store this into the web element. Let's say this button, copy button. What's that button name? That is a copy text. Okay, equals to, and we have to store this into web element. This is stored into web element. I'll over the mouse and I'll create like import the web element from Selenium org OpenQA Selenium. From here I have to import. Okay, so next thing is like we have to pass this web element into this action, double click, because we want to perform the double click onto this button or this web element. So we have to pass it web element, and after that we have to write here like build.perform, because we have to write this, guys. Build.perform, it's a necessary part. We have to write this. If we don't write this, if you won't write this, the action will not get performed. Okay, so we have to write it so it will get performed. Let's say I'll show you the demo. Let's say I'll just remove it and I'll save and I'll run the test. Run as Java application. You guys can see on the screen. Browser will get launched, and here we go. It will maximize the browser window. It got maximized, and you can see here it is not copying the text. Actually, we'll see here what it throws. Okay, it's just showing, guys. It is just nothing is happening. We have to wait here. Nothing is happening. Okay, it act dot double click and we'll go here. We can see the text didn't copy here. Okay, waited. We are just waiting. Still, it is not copying the text here, because to perform the double click, after this double click method, we have to use the build.perform or perform. Anything you can kill, anything you can use. I'll go with the build.perform. Okay, and I'll save and execute and save and execute. This time it will launch the browser. Okay, and you can see, guys, this time it got double click. That's why we have the text here. Automatically it got double click. That's why we have the text here. Okay, so if you want to close the browser, I'll write here driver.close. I'll write the driver.close. So it will close the browser automatically next time. Okay, I'll execute it again. Okay, so after that we have the another action, that is the right click. Right click, that is also called as a context click. So these are the context menu, guys. When we right click on something, we get the options. These are the context menu option. So if you are performing the right click, it is the context click. So let's get started. I'll create a class here as a right click class. I'll name it as right click. Okay, this is a class. I'll create with the main method finish. So we'll see how to perform the right click. I'll just copy the code to just launch the browser. So these 3 lines of code I will copy from here. I'll paste it here, and okay. So after that, it will launch here. So for the double click, I mean for the right click, we have to use another website. This is right click. I'll show you how it will work. This is the website. I'll show you the first website. I'm just going here and going to this website here. So guys, on this website, you can see the right click me. This is the button which is saying right click me. So if I'm performing the normal click, it is not doing any task. But if I'm right clicking, it's showing me this all options. So I have to right click on this button so that we can see all these options. Okay. So I'll just copy this website and I'll just paste it here. So it will navigate to this website. Later on, just okay. I want to maximize the browser. I can maximize. I already told you. Driver dot manage dot window dot. Okay. So window dot maximize. maximize. That's it. So after that, we have to perform the right click. So it's a mouse action. So we have to create the action class. I already told you. So actions act equals to new action. So actions is a class, guys. Actions is a class. Okay. So I'm just creating the action class and I'm just importing it. Import. Okay. And we have to pass the driver here. So I'm just giving the driver here. Okay, and we have the for performing the right click, we have the from the actions class, we have the context click. So that is the method context click. So context click is the method, guys. We have to pass the web element target here. This is the method. We have to pass the web element here. Means we have to pass the element on which we have to perform the right click. So after that, we have to write here build.perform. Right. So our action will get complete. Build.perform. So we have to pass the web element here, guys, on which we have to perform the action. So let's inspect that web element. So this is the web element. I will just you have to somewhere you have to click right click and you have to inspect. And I'll just inspect this element here. We have this right click text. We can use the text method and tag name is a span. So I'll go with Control F. Okay, slash slash span is a tag name. After that, in the square process text, we have to use text method and equals to in the single quote we have to keep this value, I mean this text in the text, and I'm just closing the braces, square braces. So it is properly highlighting the element. You can see here it's got highlighted. I'll use this XPath as this is the correct XPath. So I'll just write here driver dot find element by dot XPath, and I'm just pasting the XPath here. I'm storing the value. I will store this into the web element. Let's say it's a button for click me. It's showing the click me. I can give any name here. I can just give my name here itself, Akshay. That's completely fine. I will over the mouse here and let it show the things. Is it not showing? Okay. Create a local variable Akshay. So it will store into the web element. Add this a web element. So after that, I will pass this web element into this action. Okay. Then build.perform. So it will right click on the element. Okay. Let's say I'll just right click run as Java application. So as it is, it will launch the browser, navigate to the site, and you guys can see I didn't click anywhere. It got automatically right clicked. This is how we can perform the right click. I'll close this browser. For browser closing, I already told you driver.close you can use driver.close. Okay. There are two different commands, driver.close and driver.click. I'll explain those later. Okay. After that, we have the drag and drop. Okay. Like double click. After that, the mouse over, double click, right click, and drag and drop. For drag and drop, we would go for this website. I think this one we already have the website. I saw one thing here. We go with this website, and on this website, you guys can see there is an option like drag me to this target. My target means I can just hold it. I can just drag this element and drop it here. Okay, like that. I can just drag this and drop it here. I'll refresh. I'll show you again. We close this jQuery. Where is that? Okay, I'll just drag it and drop it here. So drag and drop action we can perform here. So I'll just copy this website and I'll paste it here. Let's say create another class. I'll create a class here. Drag and drop, drag and drop and drop. Okay, class name should be with the capital letter. There should not be any spacing. Okay, you can use the or any special character you can't use there or spacing you can't use. I'll create a main method here. It got so after that main method, I'll just write these two lines of code to launch the browser here. This launching the browser. Okay, and I have to paste the website. I'll just copy this website from here. I'll go to my Eclipse and okay, yeah, it's showing. Paste it here. Okay. So after that, you can guys see that I'll explain you little thing here. So what is the target element here guys? The drop here is the target element. I mean, I have to drag. This is the source. This is the source element. I have to take this source and drop it to the target element. So we have to find the two elements guys here. First one is the source element and target element. So let's inspect those elements first. So I'll inspect those elements. Inspect. And after that I'll inspect this one. Drag me my target. So this is the element guys. I can go with the ID. ID is here. I'll create the XPath with the ID. Div is the tag. Control F. Slash slash. Div is a tag. At the rate ID is my attribute equals to value is a this one is the ID value. Single quote I'll keep that and close the square braces. You can see it is properly highlighting the element. So I'll just copy here and I'll go here like driver dot find element. After that by dot XPath. Double quote I'll paste my XPath here and I'll store this into the web element. Let's say it's a target element. Target element. I can give any name to this variable. I'll over the mouse and create a local variable. Where's the option to create a local variable? Create local variable. Okay, for this target element. I'll just provide this here. You can guys read it properly. Target element. Okay. After that, this is the target element. This is a source element. I think, I inspected the source element. Sorry, this is a source element. Target element is this one. So this is source element. I'll modify it source element. Okay, source element. After that, I'll inspect the target element. I'll go here, right click here, hold this. I'll just do it again. Drop here. So this is the target element. ID is a droppable. We can use this droppable, but we have to use something here. Drop here is text. We can use this text. You can use the normalize text, normalize space method. We can use here. You guys can see how I am writing the XPath here now. Slash slash div. Okay. Okay, it got disturbed. Okay. I'll write the second braces here, and in the second braces I'll write normalize hyphen space and space equals to in the space I'll write the space droppable here. Drop here I will write here and we'll see how it work. Will it work or not? Is it working? So it's not working. ID is a droppable. Normalized space is equals to drop here. It should work, but it's not working. So for that, I think we have to write here slash slash p. And let's see, is it working or not? Is it not working? Okay, I'll just drop it here and I'll say double slash. Okay, so this time it is working, guys. You can see here. It is highlighting the proper element. Drop here, it is highlighting, but I have to let this element, this one. So I will to write the XPath for this element. I'll use the class and ID both. So I'll use slash slash div and attribute at ID equals to. I'll just take the value from there. So what was the ID value? ID is a droppable. ID is a droppable. Take this and paste it here. Okay. After that, I will create the another braces at the rate class equals to in the single quote. Look for the class value. So this is the value for the class attribute. I'm just copying it here, pasting it here. So here we can, you can see it is finding one out of one element. It is looking the proper element. I'll just copy this. I'll go to Eclipse. I'll write the driver dot find element by dot XPath. In the XPath, I'm pasting this. Okay, and I'm storing that into the web element. So web element is my target element this time. Target one element, and I'm just storing the here and create local target variable. And after that, target element is the thing here. So this is a target element. We stored the value into target element. It's showing the red line. Let me just complete the this. We have to add the semicolon. So this is our source element. This is our target element. So we have to drag this item into and drop into this item. We have to drag the source and drop into the target element. So we can use the action class. Actions is a class. Action act equals to new actions. And in the actions we have to pass the driver. So I'll just copy this driver. I'll pass it here. I'll use the semicolon. I'll over the mouse and import the action class from the interactions, Selenium interactions. That after that I'll click the act dot. So we have to perform drag and drop, drag and drop. So you can see drag and drop, and this is the web element source and this is target. So we have to pass the two elements. We have to pass the source element, source web element and target web element. I'll double click here. I'll use this action. So source element, this one will take, target element, this one will take. After that, I'll write the build.perform. Build.perform. Just write it here, build.perform. Okay. So I'll just save it here. So you guys can see it is showing error. Not sure what error it is showing. Oh, actually it is taking this one, build.perform. Build.perform. And I'll save it here. So we can execute this properly now. And you guys can see is it got worked or not. Click right click here. So it will launch the browser and will do the necessary actions like maximizing or launching to the websites. And after that you can see guys, drag me to my target. It got performed here. It got performed from this element. We just drag and drop to the target element with the help of the script. Like this guys, you can like handle the mouse actions. What are the mouse actions we have? Some other actions is also there, but we will cover that in the next video. For this, it's okay. So bye bye. See you in the next video. I'll just stop the recording.